to our distinguished panelists, our course instructor, Dr. Cecile Ronia, and to our fellow research presenters in this afternoon's forum, a pleasant afternoon to all of you. I am Charmaine Yacon.
I am Kimberly Japon.
I am Princess Rhea Cruz.
And today, we are going to present to you our study entitled Identifying Approaches on Bullying Intervention in Selected Faith-Based Schools. Private schools are not immune from acts of bullying. Bullying is a problem that has been studied in schools worldwide, but there is little research on bullying within Christian schools, a dearth which may stem from the assumption that Christian schools teach character traits that are inimical to bullying. Also, little remains known about what specific intervention strategies are most successful in reducing bullying in the school setting. Yet, understanding the extent and nature of bullying in Christian schools may lead to a better understanding of ways to address the problem in all schools. Given the outcomes of bullying, reducing the prevalence of bullying is an important goal for a school. Thus, this study is conducted to determine common types of bullying and identify approaches on bullying intervention in selected faith-based schools. This aims to enumerate specific measures that can be considered and utilized by educators or mentors, especially by those who are teaching in a unique setup such as the Christian schools. Specifically, this study would answer the following research questions. First, what are the common types of bullying in your school? Second, what approaches does your school employ on bullying intervention? This study used a descriptive survey research design approach. The data collection method was a survey questionnaire. The participants of the study were 30 grades 4 to 6 elementary teachers from faith-based schools in the Philippines. The interviews of 5 selected teachers from different mission schools were done in a Zoom meeting, group, and one-on-one face-to-face interview where data was recorded and collected. The rest of the 25 teachers were chosen to answer the survey questionnaire via Google form. The interview questions were open-ended questions and were followed by probing questions to help the respondents express their opinions and for the researchers to gather more information that would be beneficial to the paper. Initially, the researcher identified participants that may qualify to answer the questions. Upon determination of participants, the researchers sought the approval of the principals of the schools where the Seventh-day Adventist elementary teachers teach. After receiving approval of the request, the researcher conducted the interviews at the agreed time. To analyze the data, thematic analysis was utilized by familiarizing data, generating initial codes, searching for themes, reviewing themes, defining themes, and writing up.
To continue our presentation, this time we're going to share to you the results and discussion of our study. According to our interviews, the 4 most common practices used by elementary teachers are number 1 is positive communication, and then faith engagement, tracing family background, and implementing policies and practice. According to the findings of our interviews, the most common approach to dealing with bullying in faith-based elementary schools is positive communication. So out of the 30 participants, 19 teachers mentioned communication and the positive impact of this approach on the students. According to teacher Flambe on the interview, she said that I talked to them personally and explained the situation and what effect it may cause because of their behavior. I would pray for them and ask God for guidance to help the child in the situation. It always has a positive response because the students realize what they have done. And according to teacher Crystal, I always tell them that it's not good to bully someone. It will hurt someone's feeling and also may affect someone's emotion. It's not for them that you are doing your best. You are doing your best for your family and for God. So these 19 teachers also stated that bullying is dealt through private and open communication in which they can speak and pray privately with their students, explain the situation and what impact or effect it may cause the student, as well as maintain a positive and friendly attitude when talking or dealing with a student who is experiencing bullying. And this approach, the positive communication approach mentioned by 19 teachers, was supported by the National Bullying Prevention Center. They stated that developing positive relationships as well as using effective and positive communication tools can be extremely beneficial when dealing with a difficult situation. Also, another study on communication expiration and bullying behavior by Ensch stated that instead of punishing the bully, teachers and other school officials should engage in open communication with children about bullying and confront the issue. Another study by Devetcha about the 36 elementary teachers found out that when teachers were more emotionally supportive and open to communication with students, children were less aggressive and had greater behavioral self-control compared to the use of behavioral management, which really did not improve the self-control of the students. According to the research of Gross 2019, positive communication reduces bullying and reminds everyone to be respectful, responsible, and loving. One participant from our interview stated that the students changed as a result of constant reminders and communication, and now that the school year is coming to an end, they have become friends. Number 2 is faith engagement. Out of 30 participants, 10 teachers have shared during the interviews that faith engagement approach contributes positive impact to the students. According to teacher Rosvik, she said that one good thing about our Seventh-day Adventist school is that teachers really pray for their students. I always tell my students how fortunate they are because their teachers would pray for them. According to teacher Jenny, there must be really a prayer and a reconciliation to make them stop, realize, and be good models. And same as teacher Rod, teacher Richie, and teacher Gerardo, they said that they also use prayer approach. They would pray for their student because it's the most important thing to do. And according to teacher Jenny, we have a different intervention, and we also use devotional approach. And this is supported by Hazeltine and Hernandez, that Christian schools generally take a comprehensive stance toward education and promote values and character qualities that should mitigate bullying. Also, in a qualitative study by Nur Hayati, they found out that prayer programs in congregation and lecture after prayer is one of the approaches why bullying is prevented in the schools. According to teacher Rodam, he said that I also told them that what the world needs is people who are good, honest, and upright. I also had them to recite the Pathfinder Pledge, emphasizing that I will be a servant of God and a friend to men. And teacher Gerardo shared that he would share examples of stories that would encourage the students to be good. And according to Gross 2019, the diversity of people who participate in spiritual and church activities reinforce children's understanding of the importance of negotiating their differences with others. And in an examination of the students' experiences revealed that some of the young respondents became aware of other people and their feelings as a result of spiritual teachings. And because of this kind of awareness, they became more kind, more patient, more compassionate toward others. And their religious zeal, which was visible during spiritual activities, reminded them that God would want you to treat them well. Number 3 is tracing family background. According to the interview of teacher Arcel, he said that if the case continues and becomes even worse, then I know something's wrong in their homes. I tried to talk to the student about her parents and the nature and the background of their work. According to teacher Arcel, I tried to talk to Michael, the student, and ask him why he is misbehaving like that, why he wanted to die already. I will try to know the situation and the background of his family. And according to Papa Nicolo, bullying is related with parents' reluctance to provide assistance on issues towards school. So the outcomes of this study reveals a significant connection between the bullying behaviors of students in the school and specific parenting behaviors related to the upbringing and discipline methods of the parents at home. According to research of the vet shop, parenting practices may influence whether or not children become aggressive, bullied, or victimized. And according to our interview, one teacher stated that she would make a friend to a bully, talk and explain. This approach helps the bully to realize that physical differences of a person will not bring harm to him or her. In fact, most bullies also experience bullying, maybe from their own family or from their peers, which are not addressed. According to Booth and Dan 2013, children benefit from strong partnerships between school and families. Being friendly and helpful to school personnel is not only a nice thing to do, but it establishes a channel of communication as well as trust and belief. And according to Toffee and Farrington's recent meta-analysis of the bullying prevention literature, these programs reduce the frequency of bullying by 20 to 23%. And the researchers discovered that parent meetings, trainings, information coming from the parents, or parent-teacher conferences were associated with lower levels of bullying in schools. So this kind of things, activities, parent-teacher conferences, were one of the only two school-based disciplinary intervention that reduced the rates of recurrence in bullying and aggressive behaviors.
The last common practice used by elementary teachers from faith-based schools in effectively combating bullying in school is the implementing policies and practice. The implementation of policies and practices at school was perceived as another useful approach in bullying intervention in faith-based schools. 5 teachers have expressed in the interview that having an established system and procedure in the classroom ensures that bullying incidents in the class are dealt with properly. These teachers highlighted that rules and regulations provide clear expectation and enforces good behavior among their pupils. This claim supports the study by Hall, as he reported that students in schools with high-quality bullying policies reported lower rates of verbal and physical bullying victimization than students in schools with low-quality policies. Similarly, a study conducted by Nicolau revealed that anti-bullying laws lead to a decrease in school bullying victimization. It was indicated that the percentage of bullying incidents decreased by up to 9.4% to the schools with such laws compared to schools in states without anti-bullying laws. Thus, provisions with specific definitions of the term bullying are even more effective. School-based anti-bullying intervention through policies and practices in the form of rules can be successful in reducing bullying behaviors. According to the researchers, school must have clear educational policies in place to prevent, intervene, and address bullying behaviors. Policies that are clear and consistent will aid in the success of the prevention program. It can be noted also that in the Philippines, there is a passing of Republic Act 10627, also known as Anti-Bullying Law of 2013. Schools are required to establish their own anti-bullying programs that would ensure the protection of children against these abuses. In conclusion and recommendation, the findings of our study has found out that verbal bullying is the most common type of bullying in the selected faith-based schools. As a result, positive communication, faith engagement, tracing family background, and implementing policies and practice were concluded as the most common approaches that faith-based schools employ on bullying intervention. Our findings imply also that bullying in a Seventh-day Adventist school takes on a significantly lower level of physical aggression. Although it is difficult to pinpoint why this happens, This fact alone warrants further investigation to see if the school is a contributing factor. Furthermore, it is recommended that there needs to be an exploration towards student peer bullying. This must be in further detail. In particular, it will be important to compare and analyze approaches and initiatives taken from different mission schools where bullying is less prevalent. Researchers can also be specific with the research-based approaches that teachers apply in the classroom to provide in-depth analysis and interpretation. Researchers recommend schools to promote greater awareness of their anti-bullying policies, disseminate and discuss information relating to school anti-bullying policies more fully with students and parents, and inform parents about what the school is doing and how these incidents involve their children and being handled. Researchers also recommend faith-based schools to maintain consistency, especially in their distinctive programs such as class devotionals, storytelling, and prayer meetings, which will improve students' spiritual lives and foster positive values and character traits. Researchers also recommend faith-based schools to educate families on the importance of their roles, especially in their child's growth. They should be encouraged to be good role model for the children and make them feel heard and understood.